back to The Psychology of Spirit.
So who is right and who is wrong? What is personal integrity? What's your personal integrity? Do we have the right to judge? And is there sin? Let's sit back and ponder that for a bit. It's a huge question. Our whole society in U.S. and Canada is based on religion. Everything you see today is based on religion. Jesus Christ himself saw women as beautiful, themselves creators. But as religion became more and more powerful, and I am talking Christianity in this particular country, women seem to lose their footing, even to the point of becoming second-class citizens. And I can guarantee you, God nor Jesus Christ thought that, because even in the Bible, you will see Jesus Christ knelt down and washed the feet of a woman. A woman, nonetheless, that was not thought very highly of. So if Jesus Christ is your example in life, and Jesus Christ is who you want to live by, some things are going to be conflicting to what we are taught in Christianity, in the actual life of Christ. And this is fine, because it's up to us to develop and navigate through our own belief system. It's up to us to find our own path through prayer and through understanding of what we see. So when you're living each day, if you are living in fear, you are turning away from God, not towards God. So therefore, if you are constantly fearing that you will sin, that you will look bad in the eyes of God, you must question your belief system. If you are working to bring yourself closer to God, you must find a level of acceptance for yourself. You must get in your own corner and say, I'm doing the best I can, and because of that, I love myself. And if God loves you unconditionally, you must learn to love yourself unconditionally as well. Jesus Christ taught us how to love unconditionally. No, didn't always understand. He didn't always understand. And even when he was dying, he looked up and said, why hast thou forsaken me? Even his faith was shaken. He was definitely a human being, one that we have the potential to be. This is a truly good example. And regardless of what religion you believe in, your religion has an example, one that you can strive to be. But that brings me back to the point again, is there sin? Because no matter what way I look at it, I cannot find its purpose. Does the threat of doing something wrong really keep people from doing it? Does the threat of going to hell really stop people from doing it? Those who are going to do it are going to do it. Why? Because we have different personal integrity. Different things are okay for different people. And no, we are not going to understand how other people think. It takes a lot to be able to put yourselves in the shoes of somebody else who believes that their acts of torture or anything are normal. But trust me, from their point of view, they did nothing wrong. And that is between them and their God. It is not between them and us. All we are supposed to do is have enough faith that everything in this world is created by God and happening for a very divine purpose. That's, again, why faith is fleeting. If you steal, is it sin? Many will say immediately, yes. But if your child was starving, would you steal for your child? Of course you would. Of course you would. And would God judge you harshly for it? It's hard to say. For those of us who believe in black and white religion, those people would say yes. And that's why I'm telling you, it's up to you to figure it out. It's up to you to figure out your personal faith. Just asking you to question it. Look at it from all angles. Let's jump into another topic here. Let's talk about angels. Angels are in the Bible all over the place. And what we need to remember, in the Bible, as all of the angels were not warm and fuzzy. And I find in our world today, 2010, that has seemed to be forgotten. Angels had egos. Angels were like another race of people. Now, for those of you who believe in angels and it brings you comfort, please keep that faith. Please keep that belief. And take what I'm saying just as words and leave it alone. Because if the belief in angels brings you comfort, then what's wrong with that? Nothing. I am simply presenting another objective view, not to change yours if you already have one. Angels were also here to kill and do God's bidding when God was judgmental, according to the Old Testament. If you look at all of the angels, they were not wonderful, supportive forces. Angels is a sweeping word that is used regularly for what I believe is simply the source of God working in. I don't believe the ways are mysterious. I believe it's just the way it goes on. I believe that we are kept safe, but I do not believe it is by angels. I think angels is just the word that brings us comfort and peace. And I believe that there's nothing wrong with that word. But I also know through this research I've done, through reading and also clairvoyantly, that angels was also a race of people. Many of us, if we do past life research, and yes, I do believe in past lives, have at one point in time been angels. And angels were no different than human beings, except, yes, in fact, we did have wings. But angels, the race, still had egos. I also believe that the race that once existed, that did have the wings, that were an incredible race indeed, just as we are, is no longer in existence. I personally believe that we can still contact angels that were around, but I do not believe that angels know more than us. I believe that the things we need to contact for information, the things that guide us, are our guides, our direct link to what created us. And I talked about the guides on other shows. I believe that each and every one of us have these guides. And I also believe that each and every one of us eventually do not need our guides and can talk directly to God or Source through prayer. We as a race are absolutely incredible. We as a race are brilliant. We as a race can choose to be balanced. Keeping our ego, which is not always kind, loving, nor easy to be around, and balancing it with our truths, simply because we were born spirit first. We as a race have the ability to accept other people around us, regardless of whether we agree or not. There is truly nothing worth fighting for in this world. Now, many of you will disagree with me, and you have a right to. But when you take a step back, and I am talking the year 2010, okay? And I am talking in U.S. and Canada. You look at your daily life and you tell me what's worth fighting over. Yeah, but I was right. Okay, well, we might know you were right. But regardless, the other person is never going to see your point of view because they believe they're right. So while all of us are busy fighting over our points of view, none of us are looking at solutions. If I go out into the world and somebody says something horrible to me, that's their opinion. Does it sting? You're darn right it stings. I'm human. But do I need to say something back or prove to them that they're wrong? No, because really their opinion of me doesn't affect my life unless I allow it to. Oh, well, AuKeeRa, you know, some people, it's their fault I'm not able to make it in this world. But we're not victims. First of all, if we have challenges, they are still gifts. And trust me, if you knew me personally, you'd know I know what I'm talking about when it comes to challenges. They are our gifts. And gifts define diversity. And gifts define different answers. Are they fun? Heck no. Are they easy? No, life is not easy. You don't think I sit in the middle of my living room sometimes with tears in my eyes saying life is just not fair? We're allowed to feel that, but as a race, we have the ability to surpass it. We are an incredible race, and we need to remember that when we're finding our own faith. So if we fall off the path, are there demons, things that work for the devil that will seek us out? Do they manipulate our mind? Can they manipulate our mind? Now remember, I believe we are all created of one source. I believe that we are infinitely as powerful as what created us, not better. But we are and do have the ability to be strong. So you must decide if that is even possible, if we are already that strong. Some religions believe in possession, and I swear to you, if you believe it is possible, it's definitely possible. Some people have called me evil, for heaven's sakes. Why? Because I'm clairvoyant. That's not supposed to happen. But yet, all of those people who are in the church who hear the voice of God, it's fine for them because they're a part of the church. Dr. Phil doesn't even believe psychics exist. And he is entitled to his opinion because you know what? A lot of what he talks about is right. People seek out answers that they can find on their own. So there is nothing wrong with him saying people like me don't exist because he's trying to get the masses to understand they are capable. So he is perfectly in his right to express that opinion. And he has proof after proof after proof of misleading people. But that's when you must question. If I am following this and it is making me feel good and it is empowering me to be an individual and find my own answers, that's where you know it's working for you. If the thought of demons empowers you, you kind of have to question where you're going. We'll talk about demons more when we get back.